All right, next time to talk about the South Carolina Gamecocks. This is a team for us being local to the South Carolina area. We're a little bit more invested. We like to go to the games, like to keep track of the team. And you know, Nick, when good things happen for the Gamecocks, good things happen for us, especially in this new story that we're about to let all the fans know about, because this will affect everybody that likes the South Carolina Gamecocks, whether you go to the games, whether you watch them at home. This is going to be big time for the Gamecocks and the whole Midlands area.
Yeah, Miles. But before we get into that, Gamecocks fans, we got to hear from you guys in the comment section below. Look, like Miles alluded to, we've been to Williams-Brice a number of times. It's always an electric environment. I love going to games at South Carolina. Whether it's a night game or day game, it's always awesome. But if there was somebody that was going to a game for a very first time at Williams-Brice, what section would you recommend they sit in to get the best South Carolina Gamecock experience? Let us know in the comment section below what section you recommend for all newbies to Williams-Brice. But all right, Miles, give us the latest. What's going on in Columbia?
Yeah, Nick. Well, some people might say, okay, we have great club level seating. There's some nice suites, but those tickets are kind of few and far between. They're hard to come by. But, Nick, if we throw around the number maybe like $1 billion, that could help loosen up those seats a little bit, get a little more seats into a stadium. And that is just exactly what is going to happen, Nick. There's a new proposed revitalization, modernization project for Williams-Brice Stadium and the surrounding area. You're going to think in your head, Atlanta Braves Truist Park style of upgrade. This is going to be a major endeavor. So big, Nick, they can't even have the plan ironed out. And for, they say 12, 15 more months until the whole plan is even ironed out. That they're not even going to break soil. The plan to be voted on is going to be 15 months from now. So this is a big time endeavor for Williams-Brice Stadium and potential 800 acres owned by the university all around the stadium. And mainly, Nick, it is to upgrade things, bring it into the 21st century. And whether that's the concession stands, the bathrooms, the concourses, or as we alluded to earlier, a lot more premium level suite seating. There's hundreds of fans on the waiting list for those kind of things. And, you know, South Carolina is pretty far back in the SEC in terms they're the second to last in the SEC as far as suite level seating for the fans. And we see Tennessee just did a renovation on their stadium, or they're in the process of doing so to upgrade their suites as well. This is a popular trend now in college football. So I think this is a big time move for South Carolina. And here's the kicker, Nick, before I let you get your thoughts on this. All of it will be privately funded. The taxpayers of South Carolina will not pay a dime for this. So I think this is a pretty cool project for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, so when you say privately funded, it means basically millionaires and billionaires and very, very successful people in life, people that know how to make money, people know how to invest. And whenever I look at people that are smart with their money and when they put their dollars to work and invest in things, it always seems to be in high growth, high potential areas. They don't, smart people usually don't make dumb business decisions. They're not always right, but generally when it comes to investing capital, they know what they're doing. They make sure they do their research, their due diligence, and they play the long game. Right. Obviously, you see dumb people, the average Joe down the street who blows their money on something stupid, they play the short game. Smart money, smart investors play the long game. And Miles, don't you think the fact that these guys are pouring so much money into it makes them think, and makes, in fact, the entire South Carolina community think that the success that Shane Beamer has had in the direction, the trajectory of this Gamecock program, this isn't like a one-off, 1 or 2 year, really nice season and down to back to earth. They think this is a long-term trajectory, don't you think, to invest just this crazy amount of money?
Oh, yeah, because I mean, I've been around the block. I've seen South Carolina late. When like Will Muschamp came in, I never got the feeling of success like I did when Shane Beamer. Like this brings me back to the days of old ball coach when Steve Spurrier was here. Even back to when Lou Holtz was here. Those were years of like sustained success in the SEC. Like South Carolina was contender. They could like play for their side of the SEC. They were a team that would go toe to toe with anybody. But for the last 10 years or so, they kind of fell off. They were kind of, stuck in the mud. They never had a chance to beat Clemson, which is always, one of the big games of the year. But now, Nick, with Shane Beamer, they just beat Clemson. They beat Tennessee. They put up a good fight against Notre Dame. They beat other big time programs, Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher, heck of a coach. So they've put up a lot of success already, and they seem to be on the right footing as far as the recruiting, everything. So with a total upgrade to everything, that's gonna just help everything. When recruits come to a top tier stadium, they're gonna be like, wow, this place really cares about the football. They care about everything. It's gonna help the new recruits. It is a domino effect that's gonna put everything in motion for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I love the fact you brought up recruiting because that is a real effect, right? If you've got a guy, and let's say it's a Smoky Mountain corridor battle, we love talking about the Smoky Mountain corridor, right? And let's say it's a recruit, he's choosing between Tennessee and South Carolina, and he goes to Tennessee and on one of his official visits, and he sees the stadium, the renovation, how big it is, the whole facility, how much space it takes up, how massive that just monstrosity. It's like, whoa. And he goes to, say, the old Williams-Brice area, and he's like, nice, looks cool and all, but it's just not the same scale. Tennessee looks bigger. Tennessee looks better, right? I want to go play for Tennessee because they look like a bigger program. Carolina's going to correct that with renovations and close that gap in recruiting. And the fact that Beamer is already winning before that gap is closed, Miles, imagine how much better it'll be once they're on much more of an equal footing with the Tennessees and the Georgias. I mean, this could be the beginning of a period of really successful football programs. We're talking multiple 10-win seasons for a long time in South Carolina right now.